This is the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping the show on November the 18th, 2011. Our time is 8:47 in the morning. That is Mountain. 10:47 Eastern. Radio show runs on AM 640 in Toronto, 630 CHED in Edmonton. If you ever miss a radio show, you can catch us online. Harold's website is HESradio.com, HESradio.com. In Edmonton, we will be on next week at 1 o'clock. Due to the Grey Cup, we will be on at 1 o'clock in Edmonton next week. And Harold, you have some announcements to make. It was a crazy week on the financial markets. They were all over the place. It doesn't matter what market it was. But you have some good news that you want to pass on to people.
Well, we certainly do. After working on this project for 2 years and everybody waiting for it, we will be kicking off our live auction on Monday, November the 21st. So we're very, very excited about that. You're able to go to my website, which is HSFineAuctions, HSFineAuctions.com. You can view the catalog. You can sign up for the auction. We've got amazing products to be sold in the first auction. Now, this is a very exclusive auction. I'm not advertising it worldwide, only on the radio to my Canadian clients. But it's an exclusive auction. You got to sign up over the weekend. You go to www.hsfineauctions.com. You can view the catalog. There's going to be a magnificent silver set sold, a phenomenal gold set sold from my private collection, which was very difficult to give up. There's a beautiful emerald, ruby, and sapphire, and there's 5 argyle pink diamonds. So again, you go to www.hsfineauctions.com, sign up this weekend, and by Monday, between the hours of 11 and 2 Eastern Time, you will receive your password and number to start bidding, and this is going to be an amazing thing. Again, I've worked on this for 2 years. It's one of the highlights of our business, and again, I'm very, very excited about it. So I'll talk more about that during the show. Also, everybody who has signed up for our seminar, registration will cut off this Monday. So the last day that you can register for the seminar is Monday. It's a free seminar. Randy and I will be in Edmonton. Worldwide Precious Metals will be there with us. We're doing a seminar, and it's a free seminar. I don't want anybody paying to come to see us, so this is a free seminar. It's going to be at the Fantasyland Hotel at the West Edmonton Mall on Monday night at 7 o'clock sharp. At 6:30 sharp, and I'm looking forward to seeing all my friends and clients and listeners to the radio show at our seminar. So again, registration is this coming Monday, and that's the last day that you can register for the seminar, and then all tickets will be emailed out on Tuesday. So you'll receive all of your tickets for free on Tuesday, and again, we'll talk more about this later in the show. As Randy did say, the markets were very choppy this week as the world tries to digest what's really happening here. These are amongst the most confusing times, and that's one of the major reasons why we're coming to Edmonton to do the seminar. By the way, for all our friends in Toronto, I will be doing a seminar there in the springtime. We also will be videoing this seminar, and we will be sending out DVDs to everybody that couldn't attend. Again, we want to make certain that everybody understands what's going to happen going forward. So again, a lot of exciting things happening. We are looking at very choppy markets, but as we're taping the show on Friday, gold is up $11 on the day, and we're trading right now at $17.34. Silver's trading up 54 cents right now. We're back up above $32 trading right now at $32.50. The thing is that the markets are looking for direction. They're building a strong base from what happened about 3-4 weeks ago, but all in all, the market has recovered very nicely. You know, you've got so much uncertainty in Europe and in the United States that people really don't know which way to turn. And again, it's the short-term traders that are confused. Us that are in the long-term markets, those of us that are holding gold and silver and diamonds for the long term, don't have any problems. The fact is that if you own the physical metal, these pullbacks don't mean anything to us. It's those that are heavily leveraged that get into trouble, and that's why the futures market is a place that we want to stay away from. But nothing has changed in the markets, in my opinion. All that has happened this week is that because of the situations with with Italy and with Greece, is that the euro dropped below its 136 support level. It dropped to about 134, but the euro's back up today. And again, the problems in Europe are severe, but so again are the problems in the United States. And again, a flight to the U.S. dollar as a flight to quality makes absolutely no sense at this particular point. However, with the U.S. dollar trading right now at around the 77 to 78 cent level, again, the closer it gets to 80 cents, the market starts to get nervous. I do believe that with all the money that the Federal Reserve is printing to pay the U.S. debts and everything else going on in the U.S., that the U.S. dollar is a doomed currency and will fall further later on this year in the first quarter of next year. Again, one of the major reasons why I'm coming to Edmonton for this seminar is to outline to you what the dangers are in this market and what we have to do going forward, because, again, I think the risks in the market are getting stronger and stronger. The confusion is certainly there. People don't know which way to turn, and I want to make things very simple. The fact is that we're going into the heaviest inflationary times that we have ever seen, and we've seen high inflation before. Back in 1979-80, when we had double-digit inflation, we also had gold at $850, silver at $50, we had extremely high oil prices, and we had interest rates up to 22%. And I believe those times are right around the corner. Over the next 5 years, we anticipate very similar market situations, except obviously much higher prices in gold and silver. We do anticipate, and again, we'll update this as the markets go through their different stages, but again, the next major level for gold is $2,000, and once $2,000 is broken, $2,200 and $2,450 are the next numbers after that. As far as silver, we've got to get above the $38 level. I want to see two closes above $38, and then we should attack the $44 level in silver. Once we're above $44, $50 is back into the cards, and it would not surprise me in any way next year to see silver trading in the $60 to $75 range. So again, these choppy markets and the volatility is actually good for the markets, because again, when the markets do pull back, you do get the bargain hunters that jump in and buy the market. But again, there's a major difference between the futures markets and the physical gold and silver markets, because nobody is selling out of their physical gold and silver. But the short traders in the gold and silver markets that trade futures, again, are in and out almost on a daily basis. The other thing that was very, very strong this week that most of us noticed, and we've been very bullish on oil for a long, long time, is that oil broke $102 this week. Actually, on Thursday, oil hit $102, and then everybody got very, very nervous, and it sold off $3 on Thursday. But the bottom line is that we've been very bullish on oil for a long time. Oil's been up to $150, and then it artificially came down in 2008 back down to 30. Now it's back up to 102. And the thing is that they can try to manipulate the markets. And again, I understand in 2008 when the financial markets were falling apart, again, Lehman Brothers went under and almost caused the biggest financial disaster of all times, as there was almost a $4.5 billion run on the banks and the money market funds. That could happen again. And that is an extremely scary situation, which is another reason why we're holding that seminar in Canada coming up on Monday the 21st. But oil prices are trading right now right at around the $100 level. It's hurting a chance of any type of recovery in Europe and the United States. So again, to see the market come down $3-4 in a day does not shock me. But you're not going to hold this market back, because in my opinion, and as much as I hate to say so, there's about a 75% chance of a war with Iran and Israel going into the new year. It'll probably happen in the first quarter of next year, and the fact is that it will bring $200 to $250 oil into the equation. Now again, I've been very bullish on oil for a long, long time, and I've actually recommended that you put oil into your retirement savings plan, and those that did should be very, very happy with the results. But when Israel does attack Iran, and I do believe, again, that's almost a given, I give it a 75% chance of happening, that could bring oil to 200 to 250 or higher, as first thing that Iran will do is cut off any oil going through the Strait of Hormuz. We've seen that happen many times before, and it will happen again. So again, I am looking for oil prices to skyrocket in price, and that could bring the inflationary markets to levels that we haven't seen in years. And if you don't think that inflation is picking up, India's inflation's at 9% right now, and China's is around the same. So the fact is that inflation is picking up all over the world, and the only area that it does not exist for some reason is in the United States. and that's only because of window dressing, because the U.S. cannot deal with high inflation and raise interest rates, which is what they should be doing, because it will destroy the stock market and it will also destroy the real estate market, which is already extremely bad in the United States anyways. Another frightening thing happened. I don't know if everybody heard this week, but it absolutely shocked me. And again, the words coming out of President Obama's mouth for the first time really surprised me. And the news is that the United States is moving 2,500 troops into Australia. Why in the world would they move troops into Australia? The reason is that China is flexing its muscles in that part of the world, and they're conducting war games. And basically, the chatter between U.S. and China has not been friendly. In fact, President Obama was quoted as saying that if China thinks that we're afraid of them, they better start to think again. So again, that is something that's concerning, along with what's happening in the Middle East. I mean, in Syria, they're having rioting all over the place. In Europe, they're having rioting. And this situation in the United States with this Occupy Wall Street thing is getting out of hand. So, as tensions start to build up all over the world, as people are doing worse and worse financially, and the governments are going under, and currencies are doing what they're doing, these are very confusing and scary times. And this is a time to be extremely conservative. This is not the time to be gambling and speculating and doing all that type of thing. So the bottom line is that there's very few markets that will respond to inflation. Gold has always been one, silver is the other, diamonds is the other, and those are all markets that we've recommended to you. I'm very strongly recommending that if you don't have some type of high-quality oil stocks in your portfolio at this particular point, again, I'm very comfortable with the fact that oil is going to go substantially higher going forward. So again, at this point, we love the gold and silver markets, but physically, you want to hold on to this for the next 5 years. And over the short term, we could see a huge increase in the price of oil, so be cautious with that. All in all, again, we want to be watching the currency markets, because the currency markets really will tell you what the markets are going to do going forward. At this particular point, the U.S. dollar is sitting right at around the 78-cent level. There's very heavy support or resistance at 80 cents, 84 cents, and 86 cents. Those are the important numbers for the U.S. dollar. And again, it bothers me to see the U.S. dollar rallying as a flight to quality when the U.S. owes $15 trillion and cannot pay their debts and are basically printing all this money, or electronically printing it, in order to get out of trouble for the short term. So again, don't let these markets confuse you, and don't trade on emotion. This is pure logic. We are going into the highest inflationary times that we have ever seen, and it's going to happen over the next 5 years. And again, the only thing that happens when these markets pull back like they've done, it gives us an opportunity to average down our positions and get more silver at a lower price. That's what China's doing, and that's what India's doing, and that's what Russia's doing. Every time these markets pull back, they're jumping in and buying the physical metal, and that's what we need to do also, be in the physical metal. Do not be heavily leveraged in these markets, because again, the futures markets, 90% of the people lose that are in that market.
The telephone number to invest in precious metals. There's only one company that Harold recommends you use. That is Worldwide Precious Metals. Their website, wwpmc.com. Telephone number 1-866-623-2002. 1-866-623-2002. Website, wwpmc.com. If you would like to receive our free weekly newsletter, they will be more than happy to email it out to you free of charge every week. Should just clarify one little thing. Harold, you accidentally slipped up and said that the seminar is on November 21st. And I bet a lot of people...
I'm very sorry.
No, that's all right.
Okay.
But the reason I say that, I bet you got a lot of people very excited. One thing I've learned about being in broadcasting 28 years, say something a little bit wrong, and you'll get people excited. It's not a big deal at all, but it's November 28th. So
November 28th is the seminar.
Right.
November 21st is the auction. So please don't get those as confused as I did. I'm so excited about all these situations. Again, I'm dying to come up to Edmonton and do the seminar. I've got so many friends and clients and listeners, and I get letters and emails every day. And again, I know there's going to be a 100-degree temperature change between Florida and Edmonton, but nothing's stopping us from coming up. I'm bringing my son up with me, who's also the future of the business. It's his birthday today, and I'm wishing John Jonathan a very happy birthday. And again, we'll be coming up to Toronto in the springtime and doing a seminar up there also, which is also my hometown.
November 28th, Fantasyland Hotel, 6:30 in the evening. And you can sign up for tickets until Monday, Harold was saying, at HESradio.com. The e-tickets will go out Tuesday. And Harold, you were saying you're holding an auction, HSFineAuctions.com, and that is coming up what date?
It is coming up on Monday, this coming Monday the 21st.
And people will sign up.
Yes, and it's going to be at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, and it's going to be at 5 o'clock Mountain Time. But what you want to do over the weekend is you want to go onto the website, you want to view the catalog and see what we're auctioning. There's going to be 5 Argyle pink diamonds up there, a ruby, an emerald, a sapphire, one of my own private pieces, a beautiful gold cheetah collector set that's got a 1 ounce, half ounce, quarter ounce, and tenth of an ounce of pure gold. It's a numbered piece. It really breaks my heart to get rid of it, but again, I want to offer only the highest end collectibles, and again, I want this to be a very successful auction. And I've got an amazing silver set that consists of 5 2-ounce silver coins. Basically, it's a numbered piece. It's also from the Natura series from South Africa. And again, 10 ounces of physical silver. We can all use that. So I'm very excited about it. Again, go on it over the weekend. Take a look. Sign up. Because, again, Monday is going to be our first auction. And it's very exclusive. It's only going to be for 250 people. So the first 250 people to sign up will actually be able to bid. The others will be able to watch the first one. But you don't want to miss out because, again, being that it's the first auction and there's going to be phenomenal deals. I imagine that some of the items are going to sell for undervalue because, again, we're just getting started. It's a brand new business, but this is something that we've worked on for 2 years. My friends at Relentless Technologies have built this for me, and they are the best. Anybody wants to deal with Relentless, they are the best in the business, and I love these guys. They do all my business.
HSFineAuctions.com. Great website. In the newsletter this week, as we get back to our show here, Europe is in one of the toughest, perhaps the toughest hour since World War II, according to Angela Merkel, the German chancellor. When you hear that, you know, it's going to scare the pants off of you. The impact of Europe is no longer a question of isolating weakness to peripheral countries, but one of how Europe's instability, austerity, is isolated from the larger world. That according to Stephen C. Wedding from Citigroup. Also, Bob Chapman came out this week and said riots could soon be the order of the day in all countries. Implementing more austerity, insolvency would bring the same results and perhaps revolution. Mark Mobius from Templeton Mutual Fund said this week, there is definitely going to be another financial crisis around the corner because we haven't solved any of the things that caused the previous crisis. We said a couple of weeks back, when it looked like they had patched things up regarding Greece, this is not over. There is Italy, there's Spain, there's Portugal. You have a scenario where this could go on for a long, long time. The United States is in serious financial trouble. As Harold was saying this week, the number ticked over on the debt clock to $15 trillion. Lawrence Klotnikoff, who is a Harvard professor, has done the calculations. We've talked about it on our show before. He believes that actually when you take into account entitlements, Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security in the United States, it's around $200 trillion. Morris Hubbard said this week, I'm projecting gold at $2,000 by the end of 2011 or early January 2012. Please make note of my gold commitment of traders chart analysis price target, which is $23.30 as of July 2012. Also, Marco Byrne from Goldcore out of Ireland said this week, throughout history, gold has protected people from the sort of turmoil that we're seeing. It's an important thing to own when there is this sort of volatility in stock markets and concern about currency devaluations. One reason you want to see our newsletter this week, we have 2 fantastic charts, and they're in the gold section. It shows you how much gold is making up as a percentage of the global financial assets. And in both cases, it's less than 1%. When it comes to pension funds and when it comes to global financial assets, it's less than 1%. So we have a long, long way to go before we get into a situation where this bull market is over. Most analysts believe that we are only possibly halfway through. This is something you want to read in our newsletter. You can get it by calling Worldwide Precious Metals, the only company that Harold recommends you deal with when it comes to investing in precious metals. The telephone number 1-866-623-2002, 1-866-623-2002, the website wwpmc.com. They'll be happy to send our newsletter out to you free of charge via email. Stuart Thompson said this week, sales of size for silver have occurred repeatedly in the 0 to 50 price zone. If you buy these sales, and he's meaning obviously price sell-offs, you don't need a price parabola to put enormous profits in your pocket. The reversion to the mean alone makes you a solid winner, and the possible parabola becomes a huge bonus. A lot of people believe we could see a major, major move up when it comes to silver. Sean Boyd, who is the CEO of Agnico Eagle. Silver did have a big run and got ahead of itself, but silver traditionally will follow gold higher, and the upside on silver will be greater in percentage terms than that of gold. We have an article in our newsletter. It's too long to go through, but it's a must-read. Eric Sprott being interviewed saying this will be the decade of silver. Also, Morris Hubbard quoted on silver. He said, over the past week, the commercials claim some big profits on gold. That hasn't been the case with silver, suggesting the commercials are expecting a very big move higher in the silver price. The commercial traders are now about as long silver as they were in 2008 when silver was trading at about $8.50. Their stance suggests the possible upside price for silver is far above current levels. I have concluded that the Chaikin money flow indicator at the top of the silver chart, and you can see it on our newsletter, it confirms the absolutely amazing bullishness action of the commercial traders. He says, I believe the technical setup exists to see silver rise towards $100 in the next 18 months. Also coming out this week, another report from Thomson Reuters GFMS in coordination with the Silver Institute. Investment demand to push silver over $50 an ounce by late 2012. Silver prices were expected to exceed $50 an ounce by the end of 2012, according to this report. Silver prices so far this year have averaged $35.70, a rise of 88% year on year. And they expect that silver's bull run will continue, with the average price expected to be in excess of $45 an ounce. Now, that's the average price. $45 an ounce in 2012. And we have actually a few stories on that report. They're projecting $50 silver in 2012. And Harold, we have just a few minutes left here. I should remind people that we're going to come back and talk about diamonds. It was a big week for diamonds, and we'll talk about diamonds, but don't forget, if you are interested in investing in precious metals, there's only one company Harold recommends, that is Worldwide Precious Metals. Lots of other companies out there, they've joined it. We were here 10 years ago. They've joined the party, and there's only one company that Harold recommends worldwide. Telephone number 1-866-623-2002, their website wwpmc.com. Going to come back and talk about diamonds as the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall, continues right after this. Welcome back to the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping the show on November 18th, 2011. Our time is 9:12. That's Mountain, 11:12 Eastern. Radio show runs on AM 640 in Toronto, 630 CHED in Edmonton. If you ever miss a radio show, you can catch us online at HESradio.com, HESradio.com. Harold will be in Edmonton November 28th, the Fantasyland Hotel, 6:30. Tickets are available until Monday on his website, HESradio.com. Sign up for them. You will be sent the tickets, e-tickets, by email on Tuesday. And Harold, you have a fine auction coming up, HSFineAuctions.com, Harold Siegel, FineAuctions.com. has an auction coming up on Monday. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, again, all of us are collectors, and what I created was a secondary market to sell of all of our collectibles. And this is for high-end collectibles. I really built it for my clients down the road to sell our diamonds. However, you know, we've been collecting magnificent gold and silver sets over the years, and gold and silver have done so extremely well. And, you know, the fact is that very few of my clients are selling anything now, so I really had to go into my own personal supply. But again, this is something that I've really worked hard on with my friends at Relentless Technology. They built the most sophisticated live auction site. So what this is not like an eBay site or anything like you've ever seen. In actual fact, when you go to HS Fine Auctions, most of the time what you'll be able to view is just the catalog, because I'll be having auctions probably once a month. So what we're going to do on Monday is have our first live auction. It's going to be at 7 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Mountain Time. Now, what you do over the weekend is you go to hsfineauctions.com and you click Getting Started. You can view the catalog, and you can fill in the application. And what happens is that you go to HS Fine Auctions, you press Getting Started, you fill in the information, you press Submit, and you just follow all the directions. And what you will end up doing is getting confirmations from us, and then on Monday, between the hours of 11 and 2 Eastern Time, you will receive your bidding number. And that is what you're going to use to go onto our website at 7 o'clock Eastern Time on Monday. Now, the first item that we're going to auction off is from the Wildlife Series. It's a 5-coin proof set. This, again, is one of my own sets. And the beautiful thing about it is that it's got 5 2-ounce pure silver coins. So it has 10 ounces of silver coins. That's what makes it very valuable. But the beautiful thing about it is that every single animal is written up. It's a numbered piece. It's a beautiful set, and I gave some of these to my grandchildren because it teaches them about money. So as fathers and grandfathers, what a better way to teach our kids about money than showing them something like silver and how it goes up and down and how they can follow it in the papers and things like that. And let's face it, if silver goes to $200, you've got a $2,000 return on probably a $300 or $350 product. So that's a very exciting thing. Also, the 2002 Natura series, Wildcats of Africa, it's a solid gold set. It's my own personal set. And again, it really tugged at my heart to sell it. But again, the website to me, the auction business, is very, very important, and I wanted to kick it off with something very special. It's beautifully packaged. It comes in a beautiful wooden box, and when you open it up, it's a numbered piece, and it literally has the face of a cheetah on each coin, and on the other side is a South African Krugerrand. It's a 1 ounce, half ounce, quarter ounce, and tenth of an ounce of solid gold, and this will go up with the price of gold penny for penny, dollar per dollar, and it's one of the most beautiful sets that I own. That's going to be auctioned off. We've got a 2.48 pure Colombian heart-shaped emerald. It's certified, so you can read the certification there online, and also it has an appraisal. And again, realizing that this is the first auction, again, there's going to be people watching, people being a little nervous to bid at the beginning. So I think there's going to be some amazing opportunities, like a heart-shaped emerald that's worth about $15,000, $16,000 could literally sell for under $10,000. I got a 2.76 carat oval ruby. It's blood red. It's absolutely gorgeous. And then I've got a 446 oval sapphire, blue sapphire. These are all on the website. You can go on hsfineauctions.com and look at the catalog before you sign up. And then the pièce de résistance, what most people will be interested in, is 5 Argyle pink diamonds. One of them is a .23 emerald cut, fancy intense purplish pink. You can see it on there. You can view the GIA report. Another .25 radiant fancy cut intense pink diamond. It's magnificent. You've got a very rare .29 round brilliant fancy intense purplish pink Argyle. Rounds are very, very rare. That diamond will sell. There's a 30-point emerald cut fancy intense pink and a 31 emerald cut fancy intense pink. So again, if those of you that are interested in Argyle pink diamonds, these are diamonds that I owned 15 years ago. I bought these diamonds many, many years ago and put them away. Number one, feeling that the Argyle mine would not be in business forever, and I bought these diamonds and have just put them away. Now, 15 years ago, Argyle did not laser inscribe their diamonds. They only started doing that 5-6 years ago. So, because I'm so heavily connected with Argyle and do a lot of business with them, I sent these diamonds back to Argyle and had them laser inscribed. Then I sent them back to GIA, Gemological Institute of America, New York, and had them all recertified. So all of them have a certification from 2011. It's up to date. All of them have laser inscriptions, and they're ready to go. These are the most beautiful, valuable diamonds, and these are the diamonds, again, you want to own, and they're all going to come up for auction on Monday, November the 21st, 7 o'clock sharp. So you want to sign up over the weekend. You want to look at the catalog. And again, if anybody has any problems getting, signing up over the weekend, contact us on Monday and we'll walk you through it. This is something, again, I've worked on for 2 years. I put an awful lot of money into this and an awful lot of thought, and nobody has ever built anything like this before. It's not a boring eBay type of auction site. It's me selling live on the internet, and again, it's one of the most exciting things. And my friends at Relentless Technology, again, these guys are so far and above anybody that I've ever worked with. It's a very sophisticated site, and again, it's top notch. So again, everything that we did to get this done is finally coming to fruition. Monday at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, 5 o'clock Western. Mountain, I'm sorry, is going to be our kickoff date, and again, I couldn't be more excited about it. Now, the diamond market in general is doing tremendously well. The more confusion that goes on in the world and the more problems with Europe and U.S. and currencies, the more and more diamonds are going up in value. Our yellow flawless diamonds are doing tremendously well. They go up 25% a year. They're going to rise in value again next year. But the closer we get to high inflation, this is what I'm most excited about, is when these diamonds really take on a life of their own. In 1979 and 80, when gold went to $850 and silver went to $50 and oil skyrocketed and interest rates went up and everything was happening, our colored diamonds went up 500% in 2 years. That means a $20,000 diamond could be worth $100,000 diamond, be a $100,000 diamond in the next 5 years. And now you have an avenue in which to sell it through H. Siegel Fine Auctions. So again, I'm excited as can be about what's happening in the diamond market. We brought this to you many years ago, and the price of diamonds have done nothing but go up and up and up in value. As far as the yellow flawlesses go, you want to own the fancy yellows, the fancy intense yellows, and the fancy vivid yellows. Those are the three best colors. The other diamonds, obviously, that we talk about all the time are the Argyle pink diamonds, and 5 of them will be coming up for auction on Monday. But these diamonds will continue to climb and climb and climb in price the closer we get to the mine closing down. Argyle, or Rio Tinto, has said that the mine will try to stay open to 2018. But again, I'm a major buyer of Argyle pink diamonds, and what I'm seeing is that it's starting to deteriorate faster than they think. I'm thinking 2016, which is only 4 years from now. Give it 2 years for these diamonds to run out, and we could see these diamonds trading at 8 to 10 times what today's prices are. And again, you're going to see on Monday that I can pretty well assure you that all 5 of those Argyle diamonds are going to sell. So you can imagine 10 years from now, when there are no Argyle pink diamonds anywhere in the world, and these are the most sought-after diamonds, it's going to be on our auction site that our Canadian clients are going to be able to sell their diamonds at hopefully a very, very heavy profit. And that's what we banked on, because, again, we make our money when you sell your diamond. We get 10% of the profit only when you sell a diamond. So if you buy a diamond for $20,000, like a yellow flawless, and 5 years from now, if I'm right, and that diamond goes to $100,000, you're going to make an $80,000 return. We get 10% of the profit only. So again, that's our incentive to do well for our clients. Nobody has ever built anything like this auction site before. Now again, I've been copied by many, and I guess imitation is the best form of flattery. However, this will set us into a league on our own. And again, I've built this for our clients to sell their diamonds, not anybody outside of my company. So again, any of our competition, they're going to have to fend to themselves, because again, this was built for the listeners to our radio show. And again, I'm very, very excited about the opportunities. Now again, we don't have to restrict this auction to only gold and silver and high-level collectibles like diamonds. I've been approached by Ferrari dealers and Lamborghini dealers to sell on our website, and some of the top antique and stamp dealers and art dealers type of thing. So again, we're only going to offer the highest quality products. And again, as most of us are collectors, you're going to love this. I think people are really going to enjoy going to a live auction on the internet. It's an awful lot of fun, and there's going to be tremendous value, especially the first couple auctions. So again, everything that's happening in the diamond market is extremely positive. We've got amazing yellow flawless diamonds and Argyle pink diamonds. Also, I bought out the last 2 quarters of production from Argyle. Nobody else has any Argyle pink diamonds except for us. We spent a tremendous amount of money, close to 8 figures, to buy these yellow flawless rough diamonds and cut them and polish them, and these Argyle pink diamonds. They're all now coming out of GIA, so you can now go on our website, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, look at the Argyle pink diamonds, look at the fancy pinks, look at the fancy intense pinks, and there'll be more fancy vivid pinks coming up. Those are very difficult to get. They're all on video. So I've kept my promise to you also. All these diamonds are on video, and we will be conforming the whole or converting the entire site to videos. We have new green diamonds coming in, orange diamonds coming in, pinks and blues and reds. And again, I've spent a fortune because the future of the market is in the diamond market. And again, with the uncertainty of the financial world and with heavy inflation coming, rare colored diamonds do extremely well during that type of situation. The other amazing thing about them is they go up by 25% a year, and they never ever decline in value. Most of my clients that buy these type of diamonds are buying them for safety and retirement, because obviously with the state of the world markets, you certainly can't rely on your RSPs to make you any money, especially if you're sitting in mutual funds. So again, I'm very excited about this. Go to rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Also, if you go to rarecoloreddiamonds.com, you can also there's a link there to HS Fine Auctions. And even though the name of the company is H. Siegel Fine Auctions, I've simplified it because most people don't know how to spell Siegel. It's spelled 3 or 4 different ways. So the website is www.hsfineauctions.com. Again, enjoy it, play with it over the weekend. Let's get ready for a phenomenal Monday, because we're going to make history, and we're going to sell diamonds, emeralds, rubies, and sapphires, gold and silver for the first time on the live auction. Randy, I got to tell you, I am so excited about this, and again, I've got to give a lot of the credit to my friends at Relentless Technologies in Vancouver. Not only did they build this amazing website for us, but they built all of my other websites. They are the best people to deal with.
Well, I was thinking about it this morning, actually, as I was getting ready to come to the radio station and tape our show. I was thinking, wonder when Harold's going to do his first auction. And then they threw you over to me to get ready for the show, and you said, big news, we're going to have our auction. So you and I in psychic connection again. RareColoredDiamonds.com, the website. Featured diamond of the week this week. The diamond is a .24 carat emerald cut fancy intense pink Argyle diamond. Emerald cuts are very rare, and the color of this diamond very intense. Argyle pink diamonds are an excellent investment. With the mine closing about 2018, this diamond will no doubt appreciate in value. And as Harold was saying, once again, his company, his website, the only one with video of diamonds. And you can see the video of the diamond at RareColoredDiamonds.com, the featured diamond of the week. Here's a quote from Jeffrey Munn, who's a managing director of London Jewelers Wartsky. There are certain categories of objects like rare diamonds that have a supernatural life of their own. These seem to be burning white hot at the moment with so much turmoil in other markets. And we saw that this week with the Sun Drop Diamond fetching a record price at auction. A huge yellow diamond known as the Sun Drop sold for 11.28 million Swiss francs. That's 12.36 million US dollars. A world record for a yellow diamond at auction on Tuesday, Sotheby's said. The yellow diamond was discovered in South Africa last year and cut and polished by New York-based Cora International, which put it up for sale. The stone had a pre-estimate of around $11 million. The buyer is a private individual who wished to remain anonymous. It sold for a record for a yellow diamond. It was exactly within their expectations, according to David Bennett, the chairman of Sotheby's jewelry department. He told reporters after the sale, "I don't really see any crisis here at all. We sold nearly every one of the big diamonds within our expectations. It proves the resilience of the diamond market in a time of uncertainty," he said. The third top lot was a 4.16 carat fancy vivid blue diamond ring, which sold to an Asian private buyer for $4.3 million or $1.02 million per carat. Yellow diamonds have become more rare and are fetching higher prices, says Hoda Esfandiani, president of the South African Diamond Corporation. I bought 2 yellows, one an unmounted cushion-shaped old stone and another fancy vivid yellow set in a simple ring. I think top vivid diamonds are now still underpriced. I think they will go much higher because they are very rare, she said. Johnny Kneller, who's the Antwerp-based CEO of Sadifco, told Reuters the market is very hot. Times elsewhere are very bad. The world economy is very bad, but diamonds are very much in demand and prices are quite high. You can see that in our newsletter. If you'd like to get our newsletter from Harold, connect with him at rarecoloreddiamonds.com. His telephone number, 1-800-432-1022, 1-800-432-1022. His website, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. He'll be happy to send the newsletter out to you. There was also a sale that Christie's had on in Geneva, and a cushion-shaped 79-carat VS1 fancy yellow diamond ring sold for $3 million or $38,000 per carat. But it was interesting, Harold, because they had I've never heard of this before. I've heard of black diamonds, but never a gray diamond. Gray diamond weighing 10.67 carats. The estimate on it was $120,000 to $200,000. It went for $1.19 million, a record price for a gray diamond. As they were saying, the diamond market right now is red hot with what's happening in the world financially and geopolitically.
You better believe it, and that's why I invested most of my money in these diamonds, and I've got diamonds coming in like that also, oranges and grays and blues and greens. They're all being cut for us at this point, so I've certainly put my money where my mouth is. Again, if I recommend something on the radio for my listeners, it's something that I've already done myself. So, again, one of my clients actually owns a gray diamond, but I have just committed to some, and they're all going to be on the website within the next month or so. Again, we've never seen a world market like we have right now. The dangers out there are so severe, and if you stick with your conventional investments, you're going to be like the other 90% out there. You're going to lose your money. And I know when you're confused about what's going on, most people choose to do nothing. But we work way too hard for that to happen. You know, every market has its time. Back in the 90s, you could have thrown a dart against the Wall Street Journal and found a stock that was going to double or triple. Real estate prices were skyrocketing, and people were making money hand over fist. It was all taken away at the end of 1999 when the dot-com companies plummeted and the NASDAQ dropped from 5,000 down to 2,000. Then you had another heavy decline in stocks and everything in 2008 when Lehman went under and the financial world almost crumbled. Nothing has been changed from that. All they've been doing is putting Band-Aids on open-heart surgery. We're still in bad shape. In fact, we're in worse shape because nothing has really been solved. So, again, going forward, we need to be smart about what we want to do. We need to be very, very conservative. We're going to talk a lot about this at the seminar. And again, I'm going to put this on DVD so all of our listeners all over the world can get this. But the bottom line is we got to be very, very conservative, and gold, silver, and diamonds are the area that you want to put some of your money. You also want to keep a lot of cash on hand, and you want to be out of anything risky. You don't want to be in mutual funds or stocks, especially in the U.S., because the U.S. is $15 trillion in debt and going under. So, again, this is the time to be smart, and we really need to work at this in order to get ourselves in the position that we're not only going to be able to protect our money over the next 5 years, but there's nothing wrong with profiting. And the fact is, if inflation goes back into the double digits, which is almost there anyways, in India it's at 9%, in China also, as soon as it starts getting into the high it starts getting into the double digits, then we're going to start to see these markets take on a life of their own. That's when gold took off and silver took off and interest rates went up. And again, diamonds went up 500% in 2 years. Let's be smart about this. Let's get out of the markets that are hurting us and put your money to work for you in the areas that you're going to get the maximum return and the maximum amount of safety, which is extremely important. It's more important to protect our money right now. And if inflation keeps on climbing and climbing and climbing, which it is, oil prices over $100, food prices skyrocketing, you need an investment that's going to compensate for the increase in inflation if you're not making more money. And the answer to that is buying physical gold, silver, and diamonds, and they're all looking good at this time.
Well, in our newsletter, and this is some of the statistics that we put in our newsletter every week. You can get it by speaking with Worldwide at 1-866-623-2002, website www.pmc.com. Also, you can get our newsletter from Harold, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, or 1-800-432-1022. 41% of the people in the United States say the American dream is lost. 63% say the economy is getting worse. Also, Gallup had a poll. 86% are dissatisfied with the way things are going in the United States. We have those stories and those charts in our newsletter. And I jotted down some notes when Harold was talking. You look at what's happening in the United States right now. You have the U.S. government, $15 trillion in debt, and that does not take into account their entitlements. We have a tsunami, as it's been described, a tsunami of baby boomers about to retire, and they're on the hook for all the entitlements. You have states in trouble. There are states in the United States like Illinois, basically they're bankrupt. You have cities like Detroit that are bankrupt. You have pension plans that are seriously underfunded. That's going to be a crisis somewhere down the line. The jobs market is not good in the United States. If you're not unemployed, you're underemployed. Also, the real estate market is in serious trouble. Then you add in the sovereign debt crisis in Europe, which is not going away anytime soon. The only way to really deal with it is some sort of massive default, or you're going to have to start printing money and buying your own bonds. Then you have, obviously, geopolitical concerns. The Great Recession continues on, in my mind. It's a situation where the recession, in my personal opinion, has never really gone away. But the federal debt in the United States topped $15 trillion. The U.S. debt to GDP ratio is now 98.9%. You have a situation where the debt committee that they put together has to make a decision next week to cut the budget, or else there are automatic cuts that go into place. And we've seen how the Republicans and the Democrats in the United States get along. It's not very good. That could be one heck of a battle next week. But one of the things that really stood out to me this week, a story in the real estate section of our newsletter, and we talk about jobs, we talk about real estate, but foreclosures are a major problem in the United States. And to give you an example, in Connecticut and Maryland, it will take about 2 decades to get through all the foreclosures. In Illinois and Florida, 10 and 8 years respectively. You think about it, Harold. We have about 2.5 minutes left in our show. You have states where it could take 30 years before they finally get through all the foreclosures. And that will be a massive drag on the housing market for many, many years to come.
Are you kidding? You're 100% right, Randy, because most people have their major net worth in their home, and that's been decimated. That's why the economy can never take off again. Until real estate prices move back up, there's no chance that the economy can recover, because most people had their money, their major net worth, in their home, and it plummeted and wiped them out, just like the stock market did. So you're 100% right. We're probably 5 years or more before we see any signs of improvement in the real estate markets in the United States. It's that bad.
The telephone number to invest in precious metals. Now is a time for hard assets. 1-866-623-2002. 1-866-623-2002. There's only one company Harold recommends you use when it comes to investing in precious metals. www.pmc.com. Telephone number 1-866-623-2002. The diamond side of things, Harold's website, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Telephone number 1-800-432-1022. Harold in Edmonton, November 28th, Fantasyland Hotel, 6:30. The cutoff for tickets is Monday. Tickets will go out on Tuesday. And don't forget about Harold's auction, hsfineauctions.com. Sign up. The auction is coming up on Monday, 7 Eastern, 5 Mountain Time. And Harold, we have about 30 seconds left. I wish you well with the auction.
Thank you very, very much. I wish my son John a very happy birthday. I'm very much looking forward to coming up to Canada, and I wish everybody a wonderful weekend and a very profitable day.
Next week, it will be Thanksgiving in the United States.
You bet.
Telephone number to invest in precious metals, 1-866-623-2002, wwpmc.com. Connect with Harold at rarecoloreddiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022. Check out Harold's website, hsfineauctions.com. Be a part of the very first, it's a historic moment, the very first auction that Harold will have on his new website that is launching, hsfineauctions.com. That's it. Another edition of the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall. We will talk to you next week.